All right, I am here with special guest Nick Liuzza. Nick, how you doing? CEO of Beeline Holdings, CEO and co-founder, excuse me.
Hey, don't tip me on my title, please. I don't like that. Come on.
You earned that, and it is to make sure that you get paid forward on all of that. Nick, good morning, happy Monday. How you doing here today?
I'm doing great, man. Love the conversation about interest rate cuts. I think they're going to happen, and it's great for our industry.
I was
Great
just
for
gonna
everyone.
I was just going to say, as the CEO and co-founder of a small cap stock, you have got to be excited about interest rate cuts. Just kind of staying on that. Do you see more of that coming in 2026?
Yeah, the industry sort of like conversation was to survive to 2025. If you survive the 2025, 2026 is going to be the year. And that everyone in the industry was saying that back in 2022. And it looks like that's going to come true because I think everyone is optimistic and bullish about more rate cuts, affordability getting a bit better, and then supply and demand on the housing market, especially for first-time home buyers, becoming a little more realistic in their expectations and getting to the market.
Yeah, indeed. And that those first time home buyers, we're definitely waiting to see what kind of impact that has. I suspect there's going to be multiple tailwinds from that. Okay, really good stuff.
Yep.
Really quickly, for those that might have missed our last interview, I know you and I spoke not long ago, but for those that might have missed our last interview, can you tell us just a little bit about Beeline?
Yeah, Beeline is a digital mortgage lender really designed to accommodate the next generation or the millennials and the Gen Z. We built our brand, we built our platform for people that grew up with these phones when they had them in their pockets when they're 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, right? And so our platform speaks to them. It allows them to get certainty on a mortgage within 7 or 8 minutes, 90% certainty. And oh, by the way, unlike other mortgage lenders, if we can't qualify you for a conventional mortgage, our AI will direct you to a non-qualified mortgage, which is more in line with many of the gig economy and gig workers in today's world. So if you go to a large bank or any very large lender, it's game over if you can't
Mhm.
get approved for a conventional mortgage. Whereas our AI will direct you to a wider variety of loans. So we're different. We're diversified, a diversified platform, and we got more options than most of the larger lenders do.
Okay, awesome. Just as kind of an aside, when I was applying for my first mortgage years ago, I couldn't get one from one
Yeah,
of the traditional huger lenders. I did have to go to a
yeah,
smaller lender. So I actually have experience with that. Listen, you just had some amazing news this morning. So, really
yeah.
good timing here with this interview. Beeline launches the nation's first blockchain powered home equity platform and begins scaling it nationwide. Can you tell us, what does this announcement mean?
Well, it means that we're now going to accommodate not only the millennials, but the baby boomers who are having trouble getting liquidity and living longer. Look, Mick Jagger's 82 years old. Keith Richards is 82 years old. They don't look like they're slowing down. And so just think about people that are outliving their retirement. Our product allows them to create liquidity or get liquidity by selling a fraction of their home to create cash. We then take that deed that we record and we mint it with our partner who mints tokens, sell those tokens, and creates liquidity by providing cash for these transactions that are not tied to P&I. There's no debt payments. They just basically sit on title until the property is sold, whenever that is, which creates liquidity and no tie to debt on a going forward basis. So we're
Okay.
very excited. We closed 5 transactions last week. We're going to close about another 25 over the next call it 45 days, and then we're taking orders or we're taking applications right now for 2026 because there's great demand for this product. We need to make sure we get this product right because there's not a lot of people out there doing these products, and the script isn't completely written from a regulatory standpoint, and you do have other sort of like concerns on the title side. So we're
Mhm.
getting it right because we're not looking to grow 100 transactions, 50 transactions. We're looking to disrupt the industry heading into 2026.
And how will this disrupt the industry? Speaking of industry disruption, how do you plan on doing that?
Well, listen, we're going to drive consumers who need this product in the top 20% zip codes to start with.
Mhm.
I think there's $10 trillion of available equity in those zip codes, primarily baby boomers who are living longer, need liquidity, and they can't get a cash out refi. They can't get a HELOC. And so, that's who we're speaking to with this particular product. Why is it disruptive? Well, it's disruptive because those people are having a tough time getting liquidity, and this product provides them liquidity.
Okay. Now, how has your view changed since the last time that we spoke? Has anything kind of changed in this segment?
I wouldn't say anything has changed, but it's a constant evolution here because this is breaking edge or bleeding edge stuff here. Like I said, there's not a lot
Yeah.
of people doing these products right now. A lot of people are talking about it, and have been for a long time. And initially, our product or our partner's product was going to be a stable coin. The Genius Act has changed that, right? Because a stable coin has to be tied to a dollar. In this particular case, we're tied to the public record on a one-to-one basis. So every time a deed is recorded, a token is minted. So nothing has necessarily changed. The plan is solid. The plan is the same. I just think there's more information coming out, and that there's an evolution in terms of how the process will work and how the transactions will be closed, recorded, and funded.
Okay. I got a great question here from one of our viewers. Will you take the whole home or can you sell part of the home so that children can inherit the rest?
So that is an unbelievable question, and thank you for bringing that up because I forgot to mention that. One of the beautiful things about this particular product is it's a fractional sale of equity. So the investor has no rights to the property at all. The only right they have is to be
Excellent.
paid back when the property is sold. So you as a consumer or homeowner can sell up to 49%. That's as high as we will go, up to 49% of the property, and the home is retained by the heirs. And so once that transaction or that property is sold or there's a transfer of ownership is when this actually is paid back.
Oh,
So it beats a reverse mortgage all day, every day. It's much less expensive and it's better for the heirs.
I was going to say that actually sounds like it's better for the heirs than a reverse mortgage. You took the words right out of my mouth. Mama Bear, there you go. I will tell my neighbor's children. Okay, great. So good. Glad we did this here.
Yeah.
Look, what else do you have in the pipeline that you can talk about?
Well, that's a great question. Look, I think the biggest thing is that the stars are lining up for a company like Beeline. Here we are with a really cool product that's addressing a need, and we've been building software with our foot on the gas pedal in a really tough market for the past 3.5 years. And
Mhm.
now those tailwinds are turned into headwinds. I'm sorry, those headwinds are turned into tailwinds, and we're going to have two really good products addressing two really good demographics. And look, one would have been great, but two and in an emerging market puts us in a really good spot to grow revenue very quickly. And our company is transformed or is transforming from software development. We've done $1 billion in mortgages so far, but all that's going to really increase very quickly in a more favorable market. So that's really what we're more concerned about right now is scaling, making sure we can close transactions faster than our competition,
Mhm.
and being competitive at the end of the day.
Okay. Do you see, just offhand, do you see any roadblocks between where you want to get to, between where you are now and where you want to get?
Yeah, I think the roadblocks, you always have roadblocks when you're building your company. Anyone that says there's not barriers, there's always barriers to deal with. The barriers are smaller, they're easier to get over. And I don't really see any major barriers at this point. I see green fields and green pastures and the ability to really grow very quickly is what I see. Now,
Okay.
could that change? Yes, of course it could. But as of right now, it looks really good. Optimism is high in the industry, and optimism is certainly very high at Beeline.
Okay, that's really great to hear. Is there anything else that you would like to share with investors that I didn't cover or we didn't ask you here from the viewers?
Yeah. Well, last time you asked me this question, I just want to reiterate it. Remember, I have $16 million of my own money in the company.
Mhm.
Our product team, which is based in Australia, who are awesome, they're all invested in the company with hard dollars. Our accounting team is invested in hard dollars. We sit side by side in the trenches, the shareholder trenches, with our shareholders. And so I just want everyone to know we have skin in the game, just like everyone else.
Okay, well, it's a pretty good day here today. Beeline up 11% here in the pre-market. So should be a little bit better in those trenches here today. Nick, really appreciate it. Look forward to all this stuff. This type of stuff is exciting. I can't thank you for coming on a day where you release this news. Really appreciate it. Look forward to following up with you shortly.
Thank you for having me.
All right, that is Nick Liuzza, CEO and founder of Beeline. Really good stuff here today from Nick. And as mentioned here, Beeline indeed Let me go ahead and share my screen here, folks. Here's just a quick look at the chart here on Beeline. This is actually a pretty good chart. This looks like it's coming up off the bottom, and technically speaking, looks pretty good above that 200 and now the 20. Sitting here 362 in the pre-market again, up about 8% now. So ticker BLNE. Nick Liuzza, CEO and co-founder. Really, really awesome stuff.